Hey y'all, it's Matt Montgomery and welcome back to Art of the Alteryx Expert Exam. We have 3 parts and this is part 2, exam stats. We will go over success rate, average attempts to pass, and the most commonly attempted question. Enjoy.
Let's make sense of this.
Let's make sense.
Sense makers.
Okay, so let's look at some data.
Let's look at some data. So it's a tough exam. 26% of people that take the exam pass it. So something also to note, everybody that's taking this exam has passed core and has passed advanced. So in order to even take the exam, you are in an already respected group. Having the Alteryx Advanced exam is usually the minimum requirement for most Alteryx jobs. Developer, architect, consultant, that's the minimum. So that's the pool of people that are taking this. And then of that pool, 26% pass. It's a hard exam. They design it to be hard, and they really do want people that take it to earn it. And there are countless of people I know that are brilliant people that have not passed. And that speaks nothing of them or their abilities. It's just that tough of an exam.
Yeah, that says a lot. 26% success rate with that caliber of entrant.
Yep. Of the people that do pass, though, 63% get it on the first time. So what that more or less means is, if you do pass, it's more likely than not you get it on the first go, but there's still 37% of people, which I am a part of, that did not pass the first time, that eventually did. Which leads to the next stat we have, 3.2, which is the average number of attempts it takes to pass. So most of the people pass the first time, but then subsequently there's a little bit of a distribution down for 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4 attempts, 5 attempts, and I believe even a 6th attempt. So there is some definite persistence for people like myself, where I felt like I was really close. I just missed one minor detail, and I was like, I can't wait to take this exam. This 2-month jail that I'm in is like, frustrating. But, that's all right. It's a learning opportunity. You just go back and you study, you practice, and then that next opportunity that comes up. And it also speaks to the testament of people that, sometimes you don't get it the first time, and it does take a couple times, and there are people in that boat. So I would encourage you to understand that it is hard, it is a challenge, and if you're fortunate enough to pass the first time, congratulations. But if not, that's okay. There's a good, healthy amount of people that get it on the next go.
And these stats are demonstrating multiple things. One is that, if you know your stuff, you know your stuff. And 63% of the people are coming in and just doing it. But then like you talked at the beginning, having passed this thing demonstrates so much more than just kind of superficial level badges that some of the other programs have. And among the things that you're demonstrating here is diligence and persistence and rigor and determination and the willingness to come back on average 3.2 times to get it right, even if that spreads you across the next calendar year to make it so.
For sure. And then the final stat that I was able to share, they were, I really do appreciate the team at Alteryx for sharing what they could, but this is, what they were able to share. The most popular question attempted was the Analytic Apps. So that might not necessarily be intuitive, because most people that use Alteryx are your data prep and blend, and maybe you have your spatial experts, or you have your in-database experts, or people that work with predictive data. And Alteryx apps or chained applications might not necessarily come up a ton at work. So it was very interesting to see that was the most commonly attempted question. So I think it shows that people are either studying, or they're getting outside their comfort zone, or they just felt most comfortable with the level of difficulty of that question, maybe compared to some of those other questions, which, you work in database every day or you work with spatial a lot, but they're not going to give you an easy spatial question. Like, you're going to have to really earn your way through it. So those are some stats that, once again, I want to thank Alteryx for providing to give us this unique insight that has not been publicly shared before.
This is great. I'd love to see what these stats are like after these videos have been out for 12 months or a couple of years. And are more people able to pass it on fewer times? Or they fewer attempts to pass?
But something also I want to note is that this exam is not a static moment in time. I wouldn't be surprised if this exam evolves and has maybe different topics over time or different questions over time, and that they don't necessarily want this to be something that is, the version that we see today in a year from now, the exam could be different. But the idea is that a lot of the building blocks and a lot of the mechanics that we're going through here should be universal, that you can apply to whatever subject matter area there is. You just might need to focus on whatever that subject matter is in case the criteria does update.
This is one of the things I've gathered from you, Matthew, is that while the exam may evolve over time, the depth of thought that Alteryx have put into developing it are such that it's going to evolve within the structure that it has, and it's not expected to change radically.
Yeah, I would expect you to have to solve problems. End of story. Now, whether those problems are the ones that we see today, maybe not. That's at their discretion. But I think the idea is that you want to come in with a good set of building blocks so that regardless of the topic, you have a good approach on if this is a topic I'm familiar with, somewhat familiar with, or not familiar with at all. I'm going to try and go over some strategies depending on your comfort level with different areas, because you're going to do problems differently. Your strategy is going to change based on your comfort level with a topic and how you're going to organize yourself on this exam, because time management is crucial. Hey, it's Matt. Thanks very much for watching part 2 of Art of the Alteryx Expert Exam. We learned that success rate is around 25%, and the most commonly attempted question is Analytic Apps. Stay around for part 3, where we'll go over some exam strategy, and remember, never stop learning.
Let's make sense of this.
Let's make sense.